Welcome to the Horror Ghouls, the podcast where we do horror movie reviews and slowly unravel into unhinged madness. We are the Horror Ghouls. I'm Megan,
I'm T.
and welcome to another installment of our summer slasher series. A lot of people like to take road trips in the summer. I like to take road trips all year, personally. Do you have any fun, memorable road trip adventures stored away in your brain somewhere?
A few. I've been on some trips with a friend of mine, and we went to like North Carolina and stuff, and it was always like a good time, like laughing and joking and stuff. But
Anything
um,
eventful, like on the ride, just like regular
it was just regular. But
snacks,
I'm
maybe?
yeah, and I like driving by myself. Like I've taken
Mm,
drives back out to my hometown in another state that's like 8 hours away from me,
that's
and
a
I
good drive by yourself.
yeah, and it
Wow.
was a nice drive. It was a nice drive.
Hmm.
And so I like that too. And that I'll put on like some nice tunes and or a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely you can listen to the Hard Goals podcast if you're on a nice trip.
Spotify, Apple, Amazon, any of those
Pretty
things.
much, yeah.
Don't watch it on YouTube while you're driving. That's dangerous.
Well, I will watch it on YouTube while I'm driving because it's dangerous. I do it all the time. So
She likes to live on the edge.
I do. I put it right on my dashboard and watch while I'm driving. So
Super safe.
yeah.
Super safe. That's fine. Well, tonight we are hitting the desolate highways of rural Florida, where a brother and sister's road trip turns into a nightmare ride straight into the jaws of something ancient, something hungry. We are talking about 2001's Jeepers Creepers, or as I was saying earlier today, Jeepers effing Creepers. I've been saying it all day, directed by Victor Salva, except I said the real word because
Yeah.
that's what I do. So strap in, bitches, and don't follow that truck. Just stay with us. We'll keep you safe. Ish, ish. Let's talk about it. A brother and sister, Trish and Dari for Darius, right? I didn't realize that this whole time until you just said that before we started.
Yep.
They're driving home from college through the remote countryside of Florida. They're driving along only with sibling banter and weird religious radio stations to keep them company because they are in a very desolate area. So they're driving along, they're joking, they're in an old car. It's a nice looking car. I didn't take note of what kind it is.
Yeah, me neither. It
Right?
it reminded me of like an old Oldsmobile type car or something like that. But it's
Something
very
like that.
nice.
Yeah, I agree. I like that car. So they're driving and just kind of out of nowhere, Trish is speculating about two of their friends. She was like, "Do you think that this is the highway, whatever?" And Dari is like, "Oh, they passed away like 100 miles from here, but I guess it was on her mind because it happened." And they also mention never finding one of their friends' heads was never recovered, right? So that's fun fodder for travel, right?
Right.
While on the road, they encounter an old, creepy, rusty truck that runs up on them and acts really crazy. One of the things that I noted about this truck that was interesting is it had almost like, I don't know the right word for it, but in the front of it, almost like a train would have to like knock
Yeah.
shit out of its way. I don't know what you call that. I'm not like a train
I mean,
connoisseur.
yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, I would just say it was like a grill modification or something, but yeah,
Something like
because
that. Okay, I agree. So this truck behind them is honking the horn. It's acting like it's going to run them off the road. It's some legit real road ragey type stuff. So it winds up speeding around them, um, and taking off. And they're like, "What is the problem?" And Dari is like really shaken by this because very stressful. You can actually see in the scene he's sweating
yeah, because he's
profusely.
driving.
He's the driver. So along their route, they come upon the same truck parked by an abandoned church. And they see the driver hauling something, which is very obviously dead body shaped, out of the back of his trunk and or not trunk, but it's like a truck that opens from the back. You get what I'm saying. And throwing it down a pipe. Now, when I say obviously, I mean it's wrapped in a sheet with rope tied around it that's giving it the body shape. And there's
And there's
also
blood splattered on
blood
it. Yeah.
all over it. But it's funny because they're like, these people, these characters, I feel like they tried to really make us like them, but they are so dumb. And I'm sorry, but they're pretty dumb.
I don't think they
Um,
tried to make us like them.
okay, that's fine too, because I didn't like them. I wasn't sure. So so but even they're looking right at it and you can see what it is, and they're like, "What is that? Oh man, what do you think that is? Like, what do you think it is? Come on, get it together. Anyway,
Right.
as they drive past, the man gets back in his truck and chases them down, this time smashing into the bumper. Eventually, they get away by careening off the road into a field, and the truck just keeps going. So it seems like whoever was just in a real rush to be on their way because he didn't stop and like go after them. They assess the damage and realize the car's drivable, so they continue on their way. I believe they actually pull over a little bit after this. Like I don't think they stop right away. And we come to dumb decision number one. Derry insists that they turn back to investigate, saying, "Hey, we should go see if the bodies, maybe that was, he dumped down there, are still alive. Maybe they need help." And Trish is like, we could just go get help. We could call the police. We could have the police go back." But he insists, and he's like, it's the right thing to do. What if it was you? What if they just needed some immediate assistance? Whatever. So she begrudgingly goes. But also, my other thing is this. That's a dumb decision in and of itself. But let's say, for argument's sake, they didn't see a dead body at all. Let's say it was just the road ragey driver incident, and then you see the truck there. Why would you want to go back and like re-engage with that person when they're
Right.
obviously a psycho? So just like not good decisions so far. When they get back, the truck rather, is gone. And Dari doesn't just look into the pipe. Like he looks, but then he goes crawling down it, and then he gets spooked by some rats, and then he drops all the way through to the bottom. What he discovers is not greater because he finds a horrifying underground lair filled with hundreds of mutilated bodies that are stitched together and preserved on the walls and ceiling. So that's what you get when you do dumb shit. You
Yep.
find yourself in a lair of stitched together bodies on the ceiling and the walls. He also finds one of the bodies that was recently tossed down there is still alive. This person has some terrifying marks on his body, like on his torso, it's all stitched up the middle. And the person tries to speak, but unfortunately passes away. And Derry is just like beside himself. Like he's in shock, his mouth hanging open. He looks positively horrified. This may be before or after, but just to kind of loop back to what we talked about before, he sees bodies of the two friends they were talking about earlier.
Oh yeah, so it's slightly later, but
Yeah, it's a
not,
little
but he's
slightly
still in
later.
there, yeah.
Yeah, he's still in there and he sees that the head was like stitched onto like another body, I guess. So he's like, oh, I guess they did find her head. But obviously, they found themselves at the wrong end of this truck guy. But yes, so the pipe adventure is the result of dumb decision number two for him actually going into the pipe. Just don't go into weird pipes. It's not difficult, right?
Right.
He winds up escaping after taking all of this in, and the two rush to find help. So they head to a nearby diner. And when they go in, it's very like country, like backwoodsy, and everyone's kind of like in their routine and weird about outsiders. But they're like, "Hey, we need help. Call the police." And everyone just stares at them blankly. And they're insistent. They're like, "No, seriously, someone call the police." And after a few times of that, a waitress finally heads off to do so. While they wait, they receive a mysterious phone call on the payphone, which they weren't going to pick up, but someone was just like, "Are you going to answer that?" Because it was ringing right next to them. And the woman on the line appears to know who they are. She knows details about them. She's like, "You have a ripped shirt. You have a tattoo on your stomach of like a rose," which is a weird
It is a
tattoo.
very weird
It's a
looking
weird
tattoo.
tattoo. I think even said their names and
She said his name at that time. She didn't say Trish's name, but she did call him by name.
right, right. She's saying something about, this is so silly that I wrote this. She was like, "Yeah, you discovered his like fun time playground or whatever," because I couldn't remember what she actually called it.
Yeah,
So
I don't
I was
remember
like,
either.
that's the idea. She's like, "You discovered his lair of wonders," like whatever thing she could say. And she's telling them, "I don't know if it's a devil or a demon." And she's saying it like with no context, like I'm saying it right now, because he's just on the phone like, what the fuck? Like, what's happening? Thinking she's like crazy or trying to terrorize him. And she also says, if you start hearing the song Jeepers Creepers, run for your life because something terrible is going to happen. So he just
Yeah.
bangs the phone on her because he's like, this lady is freaking me out.
I want to add something here
Yeah,
in this scene. Earlier, they saw the license plate of this truck and it said beating you. And
right.
when he's on the phone with this woman, she's like, you saw him, you were around him. And he's like, who, beating you? And she said, think about it. And he was like, what, beating you? But what he wasn't realizing is that the license plate says be eating you. not beating you.
Oh shit, I didn't get that either.
Yeah, it's be eating you. And that's why she was like, think about it. Then she was like, fuck it, listen to this song. And so she plays Jeepers Creepers song, which I already knew about the license plate, but in my mind, I'm like, why did she think that the song was going to make him understand that it was be eating you?
Hello, Editing T here. Just wanted to drop in and give a little feedback here. I found out after the fact that the reason why the psychic is comparing Jeepers Creepers to the beating you reference or be eating you reference because she's saying, listen to the song Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers? And that's giving Derry the clue that the creeper wants his eyes. So that is why she makes that reference like that. But it's not very obvious. Clearly, Megan and I did not get this during the actual podcast recording, but I thought I would edit now because it does add some context to that part of the movie. So that is it. Hope you enjoy. Bye.
Yeah, no, that I don't get that from Jeepers Creepers.
Right.
Like if I'm just out
So,
and I'm hearing the song, I'm like, this song is about eating people. Like,
right.
that's not
So, yeah. So at that point, it had no
that's funny.
context between the two because it's like, why are you trying to say, like, think about it? Think
Right.
about the license plate. And he's
Yeah.
just like, beating you? No, be eating you.
It's be eating you. That's gross. That adds another
Yeah.
element to it I didn't know because I thought beating you was a funny license plate. I was like, oh, it's kind of, but
Be
I
eating you.
digress. Be eating you, bitch. So the cops come and they talk to Trish and Derry, and nobody is really believing Derry. They're like, the story is kind of wacky. And he kind of starts to freak out on them because he's like, no one believes me. Just go back to the place and look. While they're talking, the waitress who called the police earlier comes up and is like, is that your car out there? There's a creepy man out there. A bunch of people saw him. And they go and look, and everything that was in the car from their college trip home, so like all the laundry and whatever, is like all over the ground. So the waitress said, we saw him. He was like holding up the laundry and sniffing it. And like really, she really drove home the point that he was really deeply like smelling
hmm
it. And then she was like, he looked like he liked it. Like,
Which is funny because earlier on, Trish makes a point to say that his clothes stink. So, and it was
yes.
like underwear, it was like dirty underwear or something
Ew.
at that. So
Yeah.
we know that he was sniffing skid marks. Like,
You're really getting his stench up in his nose. Gross.
yeah.
With everything going on, they're escorted by police officers. I'm not entirely sure where they're going, escorting them home or like
No, they
to the
were going
police
back. They
station.
were going to the
To
church.
the late at night, terrible idea. Good for the
Yeah.
police too, very smart. While they're driving, they're attacked by the mysterious creature. So it's interesting because they're driving Trish and Derry in the first car and the cops behind, and they don't know or see because they're wrapped up in their own conversation that this creature kind of like lands on the roof of the car. I think he rips a lady like out the car, like out the window first,
hmm
and then plunges his hand through and then just does something to the driver, right? I guess the car comes to a stop. I'm not entirely certain what makes them stop and check.
Something hits the car, the roof of their car.
Thank you. They finally notice something's wrong. They get out of their car and approach, and they see a figure in the driver's seat. So they're just calling out to the cop to be like, hey, you good? Is everything good? Like, we're cool, whatever. So they then notice there's a head in the road in front of the car. So they're like, oh no. The door opens, the creature comes out and creepily sniffs the head. This was so gross because the way that he picked it up and the way that he was kind of like turning his head into it, I was like, is he gonna kiss it? Like the way, like
Well,
he was so romantic about it. No, but first he had it to the
right.
back. So he had the back of the head. But then he turned it around and he basically was kissing it, but you can see it he like bit on the tongue and like pulled it out and it was very long, like a fruit like a fruit roll up.
Yeah, I stopped watching that part because I knew it was coming, but it was weird because I did not remember seeing him looking like he was French kissing this head
It
because he
really,
does like hold it and he turns his head like he's going to
yeah.
kiss it, and he for a long time you don't know what he's doing because he's just making slurping noises
Yeah, yeah.
and like doing his head like this, like he would be kissing this head, but
Right.
then you see that he's ripping the tongue out.
It's gross, but also the way in which he first picked it up was so like reverent that he was like, "Alas, poor Yorick." Like he was like, It's creepy. And the way that he sniffed it was very like gave like creepy like PDF file. Like, so
Yeah.
gross. Anyway, he's sniffing that. Trish and Derry speed away. like speed away crazily. But Derry gets freaked out and tells them to slow down. Trish, for some reason, stops the car, not just slows down, she stops the car and she sees a house and she's like, let's use this phone and call to get more help. And it's like, just keep going, like, just keep going, right? You're too close still to the situation. They approach the creepy house and they're going up like, you think this person even has a phone, whatever. And an old lady calls out, who are you? And they talk to the lady through the door. At first, she's just like all silhouette. And she's acting a little squirrely, like, I don't have a phone, like, whatever. But turns out she's just a crazy cat hoarder lady. And she thought they were gonna like report her cats. So she was like, oh, fine, you can call the police. But it was funny because they were like, please, we need to contact the police. There's been a murder. And she's like, murder, you say? Like she becomes very interested.
But she thought it
Um,
was her cats. That's why she was even interested.
right. Right. So she's
Which is
like,
fucked up.
yeah, she's like, you can call, but don't tell them, don't give them this address because she still don't want people in her business. Like she just wants to be alone with her cats. She notices suddenly, because they made a point to show earlier a scarecrow in her yard. And this lady's like really chill, which I love about her, because she goes, that's not my scarecrow. She just notices all of a sudden that her scarecrow has been replaced. And it is this creature again, but it looks like a man, essentially, it's not a trench coat. It almost is just like a long burlap sack, but like trench coat vibes, kind of. Do you know what I mean?
It's giving
Um,
Van Helsing.
yes, yes. And like a hat, and it just stands there. And she goes and she gets a shotgun and she comes back out and she's like, get out of my yard. I'm gonna shoot you. Don't think I won't. And then it doesn't move. So she actually takes the shot. Like this lady is brave. I like her. She misses. It looks like she hits it, but it jumps up or it flies up. I don't know what it's doing onto the roof and then goes crashing through her house. She's trying to go back in, but then Dari and Trish are like, no, stay here. It's not safe. And she was like, get the F off me. I'm going to save my cats, you bastards. Like, whatever. We hear her shotgun go off several times and we see lights flashing before she reappears in the doorway. So all appears to have gone swimmingly, except maybe she has committed a murder, but whatever. But then we see behind her that things are not as they appear because this creature man is, I guess, I don't know, he's like holding her up almost. I don't know how he's doing it. Like, I don't know if it was like a Michael Myers type, like, got you with a machete in the back, holding you up on like a stick. Like, I don't know.
It felt like a
But
dead silence moment where he just put his hands through
he
her
made
back
he made her into a
and made her
puppet.
into a puppet.
But he walks forward, and I think she's deceased at this point. Is she? Or is she just injured?
She's
Because
kind of
her,
moaning, but she's gonna die.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
But he's just walking forward, just like nothing, holding her up. And then as he gets closer to the door and to the kids, he tosses her aside. And he smiles a beautiful, disgusting smile as he does. So we can see, like I said, it looks like a man, but it's like something otherworldly about the face. But the build and the walking is like a man. He continues to pursue Trish and Diary, and he does almost like a superhero landing, almost, I noticed because they're
Yeah.
trying to get away in their car that's getting a little iffy because they're having to shift gears and it's just like it's seen better days at this point. But the superhero landing kind of made me laugh. So then they have to back away from him because their car's stuck in reverse. So they go all the way back, but then they decide to try to run him down. So when they get to him this time, he just kind of skips over the top of the car. And even though they pass him, and even though they are free to drive away at the speed of light, do you know what they do? Dumb decision number three or number eight at this point. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up. They decide to back over him, try to back over him again, even though he keeps like jumping around and they're not having an easy time of it. So they finally hit him, shattering their windshield too, because that you don't want that because that's also a layer of protection if you're being pursued. So that's not good.
Yeah.
What made me almost laugh at this point too was when they hit him and he went tumbling over the top. Like his giant knife fell out like right onto the hood
Right.
of their car. And just like it's really big. Then they sit there for a minute before backing over him. Again, the thing I did like about this is that Dari was like, do you think he's dead? And Trish was like, they're never dead. I'm like, yes, that's the one smart thing I've heard you say. So she goes on almost like a rampage of backing over him and then forward again and back again and forward again a bunch of times. Like, you get the idea.
Until Derry tells her to stop once again.
Yeah, no, never stop. Never stop doing that. So they pause and they're he's in front of them still, like on the ground now. And it's like smoke is kind of rising off of his body, but he kind of starts to regenerate in places. And he also kind of like reinflates, for lack of a better term, but not totally. He can't totally regenerate. Then all of a sudden, we see wings sprout up. He has wings. This thing has wings, like big bat-like wings, and they pop out and they start to flutter, but then they're too weak and they flop over. But they're both sitting in the car, horrified, like, what the hell is this? So Trisha and Dari make their way to the police station and leave the corpse seed thing in the road. So they're there to get help finally. In walks Giselle Gay Hartman, the woman who called them earlier at the diner. She walks right up to them, a cop trying to dissuade her, saying, oh, she fancies herself a psychic. I really like her spirit. She's very sassy. She's like, get the hell away from me. Let me talk to these kids, you idiots. So she tells them that she has dreams. Right? She basically has psychic dreams. And she dreamed about the creature and his weird lair that Dari saw. And she also explains, I guess this also came to her in a dream, that this creature, the creeper, awakens every 23rd spring for 23 days to feed. It senses your fear and chooses its victims based on the body parts it needs to regenerate. So if it eats your eyes, it wants to see. If it eats your lungs, it wants to breathe, and so on. The creature does have wings, as we have discovered. It has superhuman strength. That's how we got that superhero landing. It is nearly impossible to kill because it can regenerate just by sucking your, I don't know, eyeballs out or whatever it needs in the moment.
I think he eats hearts
He does, oh yes, he does
to
eat hearts.
regenerate. Yeah.
He does eat hearts. So she says they hurt it on the road, like as bad as it can be hurt, but yeah. What's funny during this scene is that as she's saying this part, it flashes away to like the creature, like wildly limping crazily to the police station, it looks like. But it looks like pissed because it's like, my fucking leg is all fucked up. Like, it's just like really crazily limping. Suddenly, the lights go out in the police station and a generator or something goes on. The cops say they're going on lockdown. So Giselle then says something terrifying, because this is never what you want to hear in a situation like this. She goes, I think it's eaten too many hearts. Like, come again? What? What? It
Right.
had too many what? Hot dogs? No? Okay, great. So one of the cops goes to check on all the people in the cells. He checks and they're it's good, good, this person's good, they're sleeping mostly. And then he gets to one of the cells and someone just has kind of like big eyes and turns his head for them to look. And we see there's a crumpled up pile of clothes on the floor and one of the cells has been busted into. And there's this disgusting, like gargoyle-esque form of the winged creeper chowing down on one of the prisoners. The cop shoots, nothing happens. Then we kind of flash to upstairs. Giselle is warning that they shouldn't stay there, like to Daria and Trish, because she's like, I see him finding you here. She says in her dream she could hear them screaming, one of them screaming, while Jeepers Creepers plays in the background. All the cops are called away at this moment, trying to deal with the creeper because they were going to move Trish and Derry to like a holding room or something.
Yeah.
But now they're called away because their hands are full because they're all trying to get a hold on this fucking guy. So the creeper is really just tearing through all of the cops. He's like just snatching body parts and organs as he pleases. Dari, Trisha, and Giselle are trapped. They were trying to get out the back door, but the doors are locked because they're on lockdown. While they're kind of freaking out and panicking here, Dari suspects that Giselle knows more than she says and
Mm,
begs her to tell him who the creeper wants, but she doesn't tell him. After a little bit of back and forth about this, he's like, you know who it wants and you know what it wants. Like, just tell us. And she's like, while they're having this exchange, the creeper peers around the corner and he's like up on the wall, like he can climb the wall sideways.
yeah.
Giselle tells them to run for it, right? She's like, get out of here. So go up the stairs. And the creeper, comes to Giselle and he kind of like picks her up. He's like behind her and he starts creepily, again, it's the creepiest smelling thing ever. Just like right in her face, like right next to her ear. I don't know if she's like rotten or something, but he's like, no, I don't want that.
It seems like he doesn't like people who are stronger or have some type of
Mm,
conviction because she immediately hit the ground and started praying.
yeah, she
And
did.
so, yeah.
And he still smelled her so hard. He leaves her and still pursues the kids. Upstairs, they do find themselves in like a holding room. The creeper comes up and he's weirdly smelling Trish through the glass. Like he can sense that she's there. He does finally bust through the glass. He then grabs both of them by the throat, and again is just going on a wild sniffing rampage, both of them, like up the whole side of their face. Like it's almost like the way he's doing it is almost like seductive, not in a way that it's hot, but in his motions, like
Yeah.
it's weird. The cops appear in time to advance on the creeper, who now has Derry wrapped in his arms because he's thrown Trisha aside. He's like, "You're not the one I want, bitch. I want this guy." The cops stand there, they line up, and they're like, "Let him go, blah, blah." It's a creature. You're going to reason with it? No, probably not. And he opens his mouth in this like grotesque scream, and he has these little like mandibles that like shoot out all around his face,
It's
which is weird.
very Predator-esque if you see Predator without his mask on and his
Yeah.
mouth opens, but that was his whole head.
Yeah. Trish offers herself in Darius' place, but the creeper's like, no, like she tries. She's like, you don't want him, you want me. I'm stronger, which might have worked against her because of what you just said.
Hmm.
We have all the same innards or whatever she was saying to him. He says no. So he just busts through the window, flapping his wingies and taking off with Dari into the night. Trisha does try to give chase, but they disappear before too long. And in the daylight, Trisha sits slumped over at the police station, and Giselle comes in, letting her know her parents have arrived. And they have a little conversation, which I don't remember or care about. Then we go to an abandoned warehouse that has a lot of burst pipes for some reason. It
So
is
I
just,
know I know where this is.
you
So,
do. Okay.
yes. So earlier when they were trying to go to the church
Yeah.
and the cops get killed and everything,
hmm
well, the church is on fire because the creature has set the church on fire in
Mm.
order to distract away because it's like, well, y'all not gonna come to my lair. But
hmm
they and the cop who radios to the police, he says, I think you got some pyromaniacs on you because we got fire and rescue out here trying to get this uncontrollable fire under control. What you're seeing at the end is the now water damaged
Um,
church because that's his lair. He's not leaving his lair,
right.
and so it's just that now it has all this water all over the place because he had set it on fire.
That makes sense. Okay. I like the imagery here a little bit. I think it's funny. So we go through and we see all this, I thought, like I said, burst pipes, but all the water damage. And it kind of goes through this place and winds through and whatever. We hear Dari screaming. And as we get closer, we see or we hear the song Jeepers Creepers playing on an old phonograph, just as Giselle had said. But the creeper is sitting on like a bar stool at like a little taxidermy bar with like candles and shit. Like it's very romantical. But that just made me laugh that I'm like, oh, he's so casual, just sitting on his little stool, like doing his little projects, arts and crafts. Then they kind of pan over, like he gets up to do something, and they see Darius kind of been like strung up, like just totally upright, like not weird, like Texas Chainsaw, like on a hook, just like up so he could do whatever he needed. And we see that his eyes have been removed because we do like a slow pan up to his face. And it's not even just his eyes, it's like his whole back half, or just even like the back of his head. Like, I'm not sure if you want to wear him like Buffalo Bill. Like, I don't know. But then the creature, I don't know if he lowers in or he raises up, but he just looks through the eye holes. But now he has Dari's eyes. And that's our movie, everyone. We end on some eyeballs. Hooray! Hooray!
Which is I didn't know until I paid attention to this. It's the cover of the actual movie because I always thought that he
Oh,
was looking through like a hole or something,
that's what I thought.
but he's actually looking through Derry.
I mean, I guess he is looking through a hole, right?
Yeah. I just thought it was like a bag or something, or like looking through a glory hole or something. I don't know, but
I
um,
feel like we bring
yeah,
up glory holes more than we
more
ever
than
imagined. Like we don't bring
more
them
than
up an
usual.
awful lot, but yeah, just like
Enough.
uh, too much, some might say. Anyway, so that's our whole movie. Tell me, I think we're going to talk about what we think before we get into fun facts. Is that what we do?
Whatever you want, it
That's
doesn't
fine.
matter.
What do you think? Tell us. Tell
So
us.
I saw this movie when it came out originally,
hmm
and honestly, I was a huge fan. I actually met the man who plays the creeper, took pictures with him and everything.
You did?
I
What's
did
his name? I
indeed.
want to look him up.
Um, what I have it here. It is
I could
Jonathan Breck.
easily
Jonathan Breck. Um,
Jonathan Brack.
yes. And I think I met
Oh,
him in between the third and fourth movie, I
okay.
believe. He was not in full costume because the costume is like ridiculously hot and takes a really long time to get into. But he did have the hand of the
hmm
creeper with him and he had that on. So in the picture he's like holding the hand up. But anyway, he's a really nice guy.
He's not bad looking either. I'm just
No,
saying.
No, he was very attractive.
Oh, that was a
But
surprise. I was like, oh, okay. All right. Shit.
but I was a fan of the Creeper. I
Hmm.
followed, every time the movie came out, I watched and stuff. So I will say that originally when I first watched this movie, I really, really enjoyed it because it made me a fan. I think I was more of a fan of the Creeper than anything else, but I liked the movie. Now watching it again as, like almost 20 years later. In fact, yeah, about 20 years or more later, I feel like this movie lacks a lot. One,
Yeah,
the character development is trash. And I say that because in the beginning, when there's banter between Derry and Trish, it's harsh. It's harsh banter,
right,
and you get the feeling that they hate each other, but then they have weird games that they play that shows you that they are siblings, but there's not enough there to make you care about either one of these characters before shit hits the fan.
right.
Um, I also think that even like with the town and everything like that, it definitely didn't make you feel anything at all. And so the movie feels hollow to me. The
I would agree with that.
resolution,
Yeah.
yeah, the movie feels hollow, the climax feels hollow, the resolution feels hollow. And the best thing about it is the creeper and how he looks, even though some of his
Yeah.
stuff is kind of off too. And I don't think this is the best movie in the series. It's by far not the worst. The worst is four. But while this movie was like only an hour and 25 minutes, it wasn't hard to get through. I walked around through most of it, which is here I will say this. The sound that they chose for this movie were jarring. If you're not watching this when it's on and you're like walking around, when
Hmm.
the Jeepers Creepers van starts blaring its horn, it sounds like an airplane horn or something. It does not sound like a truck, and it has a
Yeah.
weird frequency that actually is like kind of like hurts your ears. It's jarring. It's weird that they chose that. And even like the gunshots are extra loud. They don't seem like when the cat lady, and her name in the credits is called the cat lady. When the cat lady is shooting him in the house or even shooting him outside, it's like the loudest rifle sound that I've ever heard. Now, I
Yeah.
don't know if that's more accurate or the little soft baby ones I've ever heard are more accurate, but it's
Right.
just like when they were doing the sound for this movie, they chose the loudest things. There's a crow that like goes craw and that's loud as hell.
Yeah.
It's like everything was meant to jump scare you because there were no real jump scares in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So they use sound to try to like scare you.
Trying to scare you. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Okay.
I didn't notice that before, but watching it this time because like I said, if you're away from your computer or your TV and you start hearing it, you're like, "Oh my God." And so yeah, I think that that was an interesting choice, but overall this movie just didn't necessarily hit the same way. I still love the Creeper. I still think it's an iconic character. I don't know if he's necessarily like I personally would put him with the greats. I have the Creeper
Really?
is
Okay.
yes, I think he's one of not obviously there's the three classics.
The
And then
Holy
after
Trinity.
yes, the holy trinity of serial killers in movies.
The unholy
Um
Trinity. Yeah.
so yeah, you obviously have them, and then you have characters like Pinhead and Scream Mask Guy,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so I would put
Pennywise.
yeah
Yeah.
Pennywise. So I would put Creeper up with those people,
Okay.
and so he's definitely up there because who doesn't know the Creeper? You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna know who he is. If you see him, you're like, oh yeah, I remember. Even if you don't know, like, oh, it's the Creeper. But if you see him, you're like, I think I've seen that before. I think I've seen him before.
Yeah.
But he's not as recognizable as the trifecta, you know.
No. He's like C-list. He's like C-list.
Yeah,
Um,
I give him B minus list, C list. I could see that. I
from
mean,
the way you're describing it, you definitely put him with the B's. I put him one level under because it's like I'm not as familiar. I've seen him, but it's like the other ones I'm still more familiar with, right?
oh
Like
yeah.
definitely seen the movies and I like them better too. Not sorry. Sorry, Creeper, but
Oh,
still, but yeah.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's how I feel. What about you?
First of all, I just want to say that my wild ADD radio brain, when we kept saying Creeper, now I have Meet the Creeper by Rob Zombie stuck in my head, which might be the song that this gets paired with for socials when this episode comes out, maybe, because it's perfect. It literally says, Meet the Creeper, I see the dead in your eyes. I'm like, well, that's right on the nose.
Accurate.
And it came out 2 years before the movie too. So did he
Oh
like
wow.
predict it? Is Rob Zombie like an oracle? Maybe. No, I kind of agree with what you're saying about it being hollow. The characters for me weren't likable, and any terrible decision they made, if they just stopped instead of making that terrible decision, the movie is over, right? Instead of like, hey, let's go to the church, it's like, hey, let's get the F away from this church. And then there's no finding dead bodies, there's no being pursued by the thing, there's no whatever, because you're just getting the hell out of there, you know? Because especially at the beginning, when they keep seeing this truck, it's hassling them, but also it's going about its business. So there's other options, right? You're not the only show in town. So definitely Hollow. It was fun to see baby Justin Long. That was cute and fun. I love the taxidermy arts and crafts table. I'll say this. So I saw this movie a million bazillion years ago, and it's one that didn't really make a strong impression on me. I don't know if I need to watch it again, but I do have more respect for the creeper having watched it again. So I would say he's also my favorite part of it because he's creepy. Imagine like actually seeing that. Like that's one of the things I like about horror. Like if you put yourself in the shoes of the people, how terrified are you of what's coming after you? Because he's creepy AF. Like truly walks like a man, right? Looks like a man. But then he has like a surprise under his hat where he's like a weird like demon gargoyle monster
Right, with
who likes
wings.
to do arts and crafts with your body, like whatever. So interesting, not top of the line. Like I said, I would put him around like the C list maybe, but also the sounds like you were saying that horn sounds weird, interesting sounds. But yeah, I don't really have like too much to say about it other than that. I came out of this liking the creeper more than I thought. So yeah, but like just the movie, and it was funny as soon as it ended because I watched this on like I think I watched it on Tubi. The second one started, and I was like, no, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Don't bring me right into the second one.
Which I think is probably the best one in the series. It's between the
Really?
second and third one, yes. Whichever one has the kids in the bus, and if, people know the movies, I just haven't looked it up. But yeah, whatever one has the kids in the bus, I personally feel like that was the best
The
Jeepers Creepers
wheels on the
movie.
bus go round and round. Um,
Yes.
so also when I looked up Jonathan Breck, there's a picture of him at a con next to a girl, and he's holding like the creeper head in one hand, and he's smelling her for real. And I'm like, I know she asked for that, but that would still weird me out. What do you say? You're like, hey, so nice to meet you. I'm a really big fan. Can you do me a favor when we take this picture? Look like you're really smelling me intensely. Can you do that for me? I'll give you $5 extra. Thank you so much. Like this, how do you get that picture? Like,
Yeah, the most I've ever had was Kane Hodder put a machete to my neck, and that's it.
I want a
And I
picture
didn't
with him
ask
so
for that.
bad. I've seen
He's
a lot of
dope.
pictures where he has like the hand and the machete. I
Hmm.
need both. It's a thing that I need. I need both things. I'd really like to meet him. He's not been at any of the things that I've been at, unfortunately. We have
Mm.
missed each other, but my friend Lou did give me a cameo a few birthdays ago of Kane Hodder,
Oh,
and it was
nice.
such a surprise. For I get a surprise video that's like, "Hey Megan," and I was like, "What? What?" That was a nice surprise. Thanks, Leo. Thanks. But yeah, that's interesting. How do you do that? Like, I feel like it's weird. Like that one time we went to Monster Mania together, I remember saying to you, like, as we were getting closer and closer to Ernie Hudson specifically, that I'm like, I kind of almost feel like we're at the zoo because everyone's waiting online to see the person. And then, like, what do you say? And then I like felt
Yeah.
bad that I'm like, oh, because I want to like say something nice and like reassuring and like whatever, because they're doing a whole day of just standing here. But then I'm like, I lose my mind and I just say something weird. And you sang him a song, so
Yes. But I mean that's why I don't personally love like taking pictures like that. I mean, I've done plenty of them, but I don't have anything to say because I'm just
yeah.
like, "Hey, let's take this picture." I mean, the only person I ever had a conversation with was Tony Todd.
Mm,
Like a bona fide. I did
may he
actually,
rest in peace.
yes, may he rest
Yeah.
rest in peace. Tony Todd and actually Kane Hodder and his brother. I've had conversations with them.
Kane Hodder has a brother?
Yes.
To Google.
That looks just like him.
I'm so excited. Why can't I find him? I just all more pictures of Kane Hodder. I just found a picture of him with Ozzy Osbourne. May he also rest in
Oh
peace.
yeah.
Well, I can't find him. Anyway, that's for later. I'm not going to make you guys wait while I look up pictures of Kane Hodder's brother.
I'm sure I edited out that time that it took. So
Oh my God, and R.A. Mihailoff. my boyfriend's. He's the one that I
Oh.
had a conversation with, remember? And he was saying when I should bring him in prison when he goes to jail because like
Y'all had a nice little conversation. He was like vibing your whole like leather getup and everything. She was wearing like your classic leather biker girl goth outfit,
yeah.
like with the girls sitting up and everything. And this guy was all into it. Like I was like, oh, he's getting ready to like hop across the table and like take her home. Like that's how he was acting. And I was just standing there like, mm.
You're like, should I be here for this? I don't know. But no, it
And
was really
I
funny.
I don't know if I talked about this before, and you can if you go on the Horror Ghouls page, you probably can see these pictures or some of them. My style was so different, so it was such a difference between the two of us. Like she's wearing like the black and the leather and everything. She's got the dark hair and the makeup on. And I looked like something out of like West Side
No,
Story, like
which
street cleaner or
website?
something, because I had like my little natural hair bouffant and I had like a hat on and I had on like a blue jacket. Like I just
Did
looked
you really say West Side Story street cleaner?
that's how I felt like I looked
No.
like,
Oh my God.
And so yeah, or I mean, I could have been like, please, sir, may I have some more? Like it was
Stop,
one of those things.
Oliver. Oh my
Yes,
God.
Oliver Twist. But it was just such a and I'm like, oh my God, like when I look at the contrast between the two at the time, I'm like, but no, he loved that outfit. So if you want to see that outfit, go look to the horror goals because it is
What
in
are you
there.
what are you saying? Yes,
Yes.
that but you can't see the whole thing. You could just see part of it. I do have this pictures. I have pictures with him I haven't posted and I have to go back and find them because I look crazy because he was singing me a song, if you recall, and we
Yeah.
were doing like a photo shoot and he was like, "Let's keep taking pictures." And he was singing "I'm Too Sexy" the whole time.
Hmm.
And it was making me laugh. So all my face looks wildly like distorted. There's no cute pictures, which is why I haven't like posted them. But it's pretty funny. We do kind of look like a weird, very age different biker couple in the picture,
Yeah.
which I think is funny because he always wears black. He looks legit like out of Sons of Anarchy, kind of that big ass like chain and like
Yeah.
all that shit. That was mad funny though. I'm so mad that you said West Side Story street cleaner. No, you didn't. I
Well,
understand. Listen, I understand that we are our own harshest critics. I understand that.
indeed.
But that's very funny. That's
Uh,
very funny.
oh, I want to
Yes.
add two right fast.
Yes.
Now, because in the pictures that I have taken, a lot of times that people do whatever they want,
Hmm.
and so it's very possible that the guy who played the creeper decided to just do what he
Smell you.
wanted. Like he just decided that was the pose that he decided to do. I think I said he had the hand, but I think he might have had the hand in ours too. But either way, he just kind of stood there holding whatever it was and was like, cheese.
Mhm.
And that was
Yeah.
it. So it's always
That's
different
funny.
depending upon who you meet and what they do and whether
Right.
they're dressed up or not. Because if you take pictures with like Robert Englund, he's not doing anything with you, but he's always like in
So
almost every picture.
I've seen a lot of pictures where he's also been like politely choking people.
Yeah.
And I just need to make the rounds and I need to get all of those pictures. Like they would make me so happy. But then it would be weird because there'd just be a wall of pictures of me getting choked by people behind me. That'd be very strange.
I mean, that would
Um,
be interesting. So yeah.
I'm like, welcome to my photo array of old men choking me. That sounds like a whole weird thing.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Anyway, anyway. So yeah, so that concludes our thoughts about Jeepers Creepers. Like that we took a real left into conventionism. Yeah, there's gonna be some good ones. We're gonna get some good pictures to post up there one day. I'll try not to wear my leather biker
No, by all
outfit.
means, where would you wear,
Wear what you wear. A stompy
Yes.
goth boot.
Yes,
Always. Never goes
ponytails and
wrong.
all. So just
That's amazing. Is it
yeah.
time? Is it time to rate it?
No, I have to do fun facts.
Oh my God, I forgot. I'm so sorry.
It's
Fun
all right.
facts. Fun
Yes.
facts.
So the budget for this movie is estimated at $10 million. It did gross over 59 million worldwide, making it a surprise hit. And also at the time, it opened on Labor Day weekend, and it was the highest grossing movie for that time for Labor Day. Up until Jeepers Creepers 2 came out and took its place. And I think that was like 2 or 3 years later. I think Jeepers Creepers 2 came out in 2003 or something. I can't remember what I saw, but
Okay.
yeah. So anyway, with the critical response for this movie, it has a 46% on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics praised the first half for its suspense but criticized the tonal shift into supernatural horror, which I could understand. And the audience reaction was a little bit more generous. They gave it a B minus on Cinema Score, and it has a strong cult following, especially for the atmosphere and the creeper's design. A lot of people love how the creeper looks.
Sure.
With our fun facts, this movie was inspired by a real case. The opening scene was loosely
Wow.
inspired by the real life murder of Marilyn Depew, which was on Unsolved Mysteries.
Wow.
And her killer was spotted by two siblings, just like in the film. And so it's a loose interpretation of it, but that's what people say.
That's very interesting. I had
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah, me neither.
No idea.
Um, Now the creeper has that 23-year feeding cycle. Every 20 years, he feeds for 23 days, probably 23 hours of the day. And why the number 23? Well, this number is tied to chaos and strange coincidences in numerology. It's
Hmm.
often called the number of chaos, or the number of freaks in pop culture and numerology
Oh,
circles. Yeah.
okay.
And the director Salva chose it to make the creeper feel more ancient and cursed, and make the cycle unnatural and more terrifying because 23 is just an odd number.
Right.
And so,
Odd numbers are unsettling. Got it.
yes, but that's why he did it. Of course, for people who are very, very young, Jeepers Creepers is a real song from 1938. It was
Yes.
written for a musical, and then this movie turned it into a haunting signal of death, which I mean, I feel like they do that with so many songs, like that one song that's like, "Du- du- through the window, da, 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 da." Like they also made that super
Tiny
creepy.
Tim. Yeah.
Yes, and then there's another one too. I forget. It's like these three women, and it's an old song, and they're singing about like you'll be mine or something like that.
I know you belong to somebody new, but tonight you belong to me.
I
And
feel
it
like I know what you're talking about, but I can't quite get to it
Yeah,
in
I
my
can't
brain.
remember what movie it's in, but I saw the other day on my Instagram a video came up of the original women singing it, and I was
Mm,
like so creeped out. I was like, "Oh my God." They always change stuff into creepy stuff, but I never thought Jeepers Creepers was creepy. They tried it with this, but it didn't land for me like Jeepers Creeper. That still doesn't hit for me. So,
yeah. I
okay.
gotcha. I feel you.
Now, Jonathan Breck, who played the creeper, it was trained as a classical ballet dancer and a mime.
Wow.
And
Never
he
trust a mime. Mm-mm.
Right? And he
Never.
uses training to create the inhuman movements, like how he stalked and sniffed and was leaping like an animal from a mime. Because you'll have a mime that isn't actually doing anything. The mime will do sniffing and stuff like that, or
Right.
box work. And the ballet stuff, which how he was jumping and stuff like that over cars. Now, of course, this movie was filmed in the backwoods of Florida. Well, actually, not the backwoods Florida. It was filmed in Ocala, Florida, with real locations that were redressed to feel desolate and eerie. However,
Hmm.
when they were shooting this, they felt like the location was still too beautiful, so they ended up putting filters over it to make it look a little bit more off.
Sure.
Because they were like, "Oh, this is such a pretty shot. Put a filter on it."
Hmm.
Now, you might not have known this, but the person who played Giselle, her name is Patricia Belcher. Before she got the role, Tina Turner and Debbie Morgan were both considered to play this psychic. And of course, both of them would have brought completely different energy to this.
Sure.
But I do feel like what we got with Belcher gave us like the right intensity. It gave us the right amount of like she's a little crazy, but she's telling you the truth.
Yeah.
Especially when Derry is questioning her like, who is it? Who did you see? Like you know more. And he's holding her face and she's giving such a I think this is probably the best performance of the movie for me because she's looking like I really don't want to tell you. Almost to the point where she's
Yeah.
getting ready to cry. And her face just looks so sad as he's like trying to get this out of her. I think she did a good job and I'm very, very happy with who they chose. I feel it would be
Yeah.
weird to see Tina Turner playing that role with her raspy voice.
Yes, but I just love Tina Turner. Like I love
Of
seeing her in
course.
everything that like oh God, what's the other movie with the Thunderdome? God, I don't know.
I have to say I've never seen a Tina Turner movie
What?
except for What's Love Got to Do with It, which she was not in.
No, but Angela Bassett killed that
Yeah.
shit. I need to tell you what the name of the movie is. Mad Max. I
Oh,
knew
the
that.
original Mad Max?
Yeah.
I've never seen either one of them. But I want to see them, so at some point I probably will.
She is badass in that movie. We love you, Tina. Rest in
Yes.
peace. All of so many rest in pieces in this episode. Rest in
Yes.
pieces. You hear what I said? Which
Uh,
I think is how R.A. Mihailoff signed my actual picture eventually when he got
really?
around to signing it for Leatherface. Rest in pieces. Pretty sure. Yeah. That's a good one. I like that.
Yes.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
so also this movie was filmed in 40 days. Production was
What?
very quick. Yes, very quick and very clean. The budget was very tight, but there were no major cuts to the budget. They just did very smart planning and
Hmm.
stretched every dollar. And in fact, it was supposed to be 40 days, but they were able to cut a few more days down. I think it got to be like 33 days.
Good for them.
So yeah. And the creeper's lair was built practically. So the underground layer with all the abandoned stuff, it was shot in an abandoned meat packing plant actually.
Of course it was.
And they filled everything with mannequins. There's no CGI. The mannequins were then painted to look human and to
Wow.
look like they were like rotting at different stages of decay and whatnot, and how they had the stitching and everything. It was a lot of hours of makeup and set design to create that layer.
I can't
Um,
imagine. If especially when you consider that one when he's standing and he notices all the ones on the ceiling and like
yeah,
the walls, the scale of it, you know what I mean? Is that's very impressive that they actually took the time and like the manpower to do all that.
massive,
Yeah,
massive.
massive. Crazy.
So yeah, those are my fun facts. I was trying to think if I had another one, but I think that's
That covers
all
it.
I have. Yeah, I think that covers it for
Okay.
now.
All right. Well, then is it actually time to rate it now? Like not like the first time I said where I was wrong. Yeah.
Yes, it is actually time to rate it.
How many bloody axes? How many E.T. Jesuses does this movie get? How many?
So, like I said, I can't tell you what I would have rated this movie when I first saw it.
Mm.
Just because I can't really remember. I know I liked it, but I can't tell you if I loved it or if I was just like young and really into like because it was when I was first getting into horror. I think considering that I felt like this movie was hollow. I will say I always talk about like for its time, it was shot very well for its time. Even the weird scene where the creeper is flying through the sky, which is a very weird looking CGI scene or a
Right.
weird looking green screen, whatever it is, it's very off-putting because it doesn't match anything else in the movie. But again, I said for the time, it's fine. But I do think like the location they chose was good. I think choosing Justin Long was good. He was picked for that's what I want to say. The director was like so impressed with his audition that he was just like, you're it. Like, and
Oh
that was
wow.
it. Yeah, and of course this was the movie that actually launched Justin Long's career.
Into the
So
stratosphere. Into
yes.
that movie Tusk.
I was about to say into Tuscan for him to do Barbarian. So
Ah,
I love the design of the creeper. The design is good. I put respect because it took like a very long time for him to get into character for that. He was blind when he was in character because the original context that he puts in he can't see out of them.
oh
If
my
you guys
God.
remember, we had an episode where we talked about the group Ghost. And Megan
Love to talk
mentioned
about ghosts. Sorry. Yes, go
if Megan
ahead.
mentioned that they all wear one contact that has like one white eye and one regular
Just the lead
eye.
guy, but yes.
Right. Well, I was thinking all the
Yeah,
papas.
all
Yeah.
of the papas. Yes, all
Oh,
of the
all the
papas.
popes. So but the creeper also has that same type of eye, and he could not see out of it. It's completely white and everything. So at the end, when he has Derry's eyes, he can finally see because it's a real
Hallelujah. Oh
contact.
my God,
That's
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so he
That
couldn't see.
how hard must that have been to do that? Like, how do you even know what direction you're going the right
Right,
way? Like, what are you
right.
doing?
Like, I mean, you don't really know how to
No,
sniff
they
somebody
just
out,
like snap. They're like, over here.
right?
This right here.
Hey
Yeah.
you, hey you. But
Hey, creeper, right here.
right. But
Yeah.
with all that being said, because like I said, I love the creeper. I think he's great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this a 6. It's, 5 is good. 6 is better than good.
Six is better than five. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this can get any higher from me just because this first movie was just it just didn't have any heart to me,
Sure.
so to speak. So yeah, I'm giving it a 6, and that's it. What about
Yeah,
you?
and that's it. That's funny because I was actually also thinking about giving it a 6, but I'm going to tell you for all the same reasons I was saying before, it's kind of hollow, it's kind of lackluster. I like the practical effects though that you were just talking about and that whole like lair sequence. I do like the creeper a lot. He's growing on me as the moments go by. Knowing what he had to go through to not see, to do all of those things that he did, all the stunts and all of the oh my God, that's crazy. So big props to him for that, for launching Justin Long, like for so many reasons, but it's kind of just like empty aside from those things. So I don't think I can give it any higher than a 6. So I'm gonna just leave it there. You said all the things. I don't need to go repeating everything you said because I feel the same. So 6 is across the board, double
Yes, my
six.
favorite number. Just add another 6. And so no, I love the number 6. That's actually my favorite number. It's my number in numerology too. And it's
Mm,
it's my number in numerology. It's my life path number. It is my zodiac is also in the sixth house. It's like I always like the number 6. It's weird.
it
But
always aligned. It all aligns. Yep.
yes, but that's about it. I think at some point I really want to look at the one that I think is the best one and compare it to this one. Like I said, I think
Sure.
it's the second one. I'm not going to give my editing self any direction. Do what you want. You know what I'm thinking right now, so just do what you want, girl. Um, because I'm not fighting with you. Uh,
That's funny.
so yeah, but I have not watched any of these more than once.
Hmm.
The fourth one I saw at a special screening, like a pre-screening party for it,
Mm.
and it was just trash. I was just like, oh, like it was like stand up boo at the end type trash. Even though I think there was a Q&A with the director at the end, and I was just like,
I do say, I just really quick, I just looked it up and it looks like 2 is the one with the bus scene. Whatever
yes.
that means, because I never saw 2, so it will be a surprise for me when we get there.
Yes.
There we
Yes.
go.
Because I think it actually takes place like 23 years from this movie,
Get out of it.
right?
Get out of there. What does that mean? I was gonna say get out of here.
Yes, it takes place 23 years from this
Wow.
movie, and it goes into a bit more of the lore of the creeper.
I like that.
And yeah, and it has some kids that are high schoolers in a bus, and there's a lot of interesting stuff that goes on. There's a badass woman in it that gives like final girl vibes.
We love a badass
Um,
woman. Yep.
right. So
Hmm.
yeah, and I think that honestly, I think the actual like climax and conclusion of this movie is a little bit more fulfilling.
Okay.
This is one of the few times where I feel like the second one really did outdo the first one. I'm not gonna say it blew it out the water because like again, I might feel differently if I watch it again. I'm like, this was
Sure.
hollow too. But I remember liking that one more.
Very interesting. All
Mhm.
right. Well, I don't have anything else to say on the matter. Do you? Anything else?
No, I don't. I
All
don't.
right.
So I guess I can sign us on out. So,
Yep.
all right, my haunted highway travelers, that brings us to the end of our ride with Jeepers Creepers in the IBENU truck. What starts off as feeling like your standard road trip movie quickly unravels into something darker, something ancient, where fear lives. And not just in what the creeper is, but in the horror that creeps in once he's chosen you. You can fight, you can run, you can beg, but if he wants you, he's gonna have you. If you know
Mm.
that Boondocks reference I'm making right now, what's it gonna be, Tom? So that's basically what Creeper is saying. But if he's doing all that, he's sniffing you and licking your face and stuff, it's
Ugh,
already over. So
gross.
we want to know, what do you guys think? Did Jeepers Creepers stand the test of time for you, or did the creeper lose his bite? Let us know your thoughts. Drop your bloody X rating if you like in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. We're not every 23 years, we're about once a week,
No.
so
Yep.
much easier cycle to follow. Um, and if you'd rather hear our screeches instead, we are streaming on all streaming services. And please follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Horror Ghouls so we can continue to collect bodies in our den of horror.
Mm.
So, until next time, stay spooky, Don't go looking into pipes that don't belong to you.
Don't.
And if you find yourself on a long stretch of empty road and you hear that old jazz tune playing from somewhere in the distance, drive faster and don't look back. Mind your business and get out of there.
Great advice.
Yeah.
See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.